Hello guys, I am Zachariah, the ghostwriter. Today I will just sit down and record videos, maybe for 2 hours straight. I'm not going to change the outfit, I'm not going to change anything. I just want to make videos about, the comments that you guys, have been sending me, and also, tell more stories, because I love telling stories. So I will start with this one of Lucky Johannes 1943. He wrote the video ya go bolela ka dijo tse o ka di jang before o ya dithabeng le dinokeng. Please make a video about the type of food you can eat before you go to mountains and rivers. And my brother, I must say, when it comes to food, there is no universal principle or universal way of doing things or universal law of doing certain things so that you can connect with your ancestors. The biggest thing that you must pay attention to is to know your people. You must know your people, but one thing which is very much important is what we call know thyself. Know yourself, understand your body, know how your body reacts when you eat certain food, know how your body connects with the mountain, how it connects with the river when you eat certain things or when you avoid certain things. For an example, let me put it this way. I know what works for me when I go to mountains, rivers and caves, and I know what works against me when I go to mountains, rivers and caves, and I don't even take any chance to do what works against me because I know I'm going to be in trouble. Let's put it this way. In South Africa or in Africa, we have different tribes. We have people who eat certain types of food culturally. So the Spedi-speaking people, but we have certain food that we prefer a lot. The Xhosa-speaking people have certain types of food. The Zulu-speaking people have the certain types of food. So when you know what your ancestors used to do and what they used to eat and what they used to prefer back in the days, it becomes easier for you to know what type of food works well in your lineage, in your family tree. Growing up, my grandmother used to have a land where they can, plant certain types of food, right? We used to go there and have, sweet potatoes, watermelons, mealies. During the time of harvest, there will be watermelons everywhere. I know that she loves watermelon because of her ancestors or her people taught her how to eat watermelons. So I, time after time, buy watermelons, just eat watermelons, knowing exactly that in my DNA, it's there. It's been proven that it worked for those who came before me. She used to take these butternuts and make this thing they call Topi. How she used to do it, she will take maize meal and butternut, mix it together with a little bit of sugar, and she will make what they call Topi. It will be sweet, and we used to eat it. There were, nights where we just eat Topi and we go to sleep. Others prefer to eat Topi with moroho, but I never liked to eat something salty with something with sugar. It didn't make sense for me. So I will eat only Topi and go to sleep. And even if we can go deep into the types of morojos, we know that there were certain types of morojo that in my household we were not eating, but other families, neighbors, they were eating that type of morojos, and we were fine with it. And even if when I go to visit, those families, when they're eating that morojo, as a kid you will try it, but it will never sit well with you. You will get sick or something will happen and they will ask you, what did you eat? And be like, I ate this, and like, yeah, we don't eat that, Like there is this moroho called delele. I don't know what you call it with your mother tongue. That moroho is so soft. When you are touching it, it goes all the way. It's like chepis. You see, if you chew chepis, a gum, and it's becoming very soft, that moroho is like that. We grew up not even eating it in my family. And I've never seen anybody in my family member cooking that. And even if when I see it somewhere, I don't even attempt to buy it. Because I know that spinach was not even the favorite in our household. It's been there, but it was not even the favorite. We used to eat what we call tepe. Tepe is that kind of moroho that natural, organically just grow. You just go and get it there. It's beautiful, it's great, it's tasty. We used to eat things like maapu mopotsi, those kind of morojos whereby when you plant butternuts, there will be that moroho there on top of butternuts that, protect the butternuts. We used to eat that. Moapu, when we, have things like watermelons, there is that moroho that covers the watermelon, next to the watermelon. I'll show you the picture. We used to eat that in our family. It's been awesome. Things like spinach sometimes, but we were not deep into that. So even if when I go to town, when I buy the types of morojos, I'm very selective. All right, I know that, we used to eat a lot of mealies. I eat that, days before I can go to mountains, rivers and caves. And sometimes when I sleep, I see these things. Like if I'm sleeping and I dream about a watermelon, I don't waste time. Whenever I get time, I go there to the fruits and veggie and I buy a watermelon, I put it here, start cutting it into slices, and I start eating it, because I know that there is something which used to be preferred a lot. So when it comes to things like those who work against me, this is just a video, man. I just put things out there. I know that sometimes I'm oversharing, but I'm just trying to make you understand that things like avocado, I don't eat avocado days before I go to the mountains, rivers and caves. And I understand my body well that avocado is one fruit that makes me want to dance. Every time I can eat the avocado, I will have that sexual appetite, and I will end up not doing that 14 days that I wanted to do, without, sleeping with a woman. So if I want to stay away, I have certain food that I know that I have to stay away from this certain food so that I can go for extra mile. I can, stay for 14 days. I can stay for 30 days without, doing that. I can abstain without having any problem when it comes to that, space. So things like avocado I avoid, obviously. And obviously I know that things like sweet potatoes, I don't eat sweet potatoes, because when I eat sweet potatoes, the more I eat, is the more I feel like my stomach is not full. I'll keep on eating. By the time I realize that my stomach is full, it's already late. I can't move. I cannot go anywhere. I just become this lazy guy. I can't do anything. I know sweet potato is a no-no. I don't take that days before I go to mountains, rivers and caves. Bad food for me. Because of our struggle to climb the mountain, I will struggle to do stuff that I have to do, because sometimes you have to go out there and get firewood so that you can start fire. Sometimes you have to climb Sidiba, you have to go up there. Sometimes the cave, you have to, crawl, you have to. But when your stomach is too full, you can't do those things. And sometimes when your stomach is too full, you'll feel like you can sleep. And you have to be extra careful. You have to be in a space whereby you have to feel the energy where you are. I avoid it. I avoid a lot of acid. I avoid a lot of meat. I don't eat meat. Instead of eating meat a lot, I eat fish. and it works for me. I know that I'm putting these things out there, but they're not supposed to be on the social media. But guys, you need to understand that you must understand who you are and why certain foods are so important to you, and why you shouldn't just be in a space whereby somebody said, I eat this, I don't eat this, I eat this, I don't eat this, and you stop eating that. Your people might want you to eat those type of stuff, because when we go to mountains, rivers, and caves, others, they have to do all those wrong things so that whatever that they go to mountains, they want it to happen, it can happen. Because people go to the mountains, rivers, and caves for different reasons. So I go there just to pray. And when I go there to pray, I want to be light. I don't want my body to be heavy in a way that I cannot even hear any sound. I cannot even hear any footstep. I cannot even hear, tree movements. I don't want that. I want to pay attention to each and every little thing. When the wind blows differently, I need to notice that this wind now is blowing heavier than before. What is going on? When the waterfall drops, I want to hear the sound of that waterfalls. When it changes, I need to be able to notice it, that it's no longer dropping the same. Something is not right. You have to be in that space so that you cannot find yourself in a position whereby you won't know how to get out of it. That's one of those stuff. When it comes to food, guys, in short, you have to know yourself and you have to know your people. We grew up in a space whereby there were fruits and vegetables, vegetables like the maraca. We don't know how to call them with English, but our indigenous food plays a huge role when it comes to spirituality. Obviously, things like chilies and stuff, we stay away from that because of it stays here, and you don't vibrate the same when you're eating a lot of acid, when you're eating a lot of sugar, when you're eating a lot of oil, when you're eating a lot of cheese. When it comes to oil, I know a guy who used to drink oil all the time when I was still camping at Val. The gentleman will drink oil like nobody's business. I remember one day I was telling him, bro, look, we buy oil to cook with it. You drink oil, my guy, like it's water. Bro, we can't keep buying oil every day. This is something that I should do all the time. I'm like, yeah. When we contribute, you need to also contribute and buy oil, my guy. It can't be that way. Sometimes certain things do happen in a way that you have to address them. You're not fighting with the person, you're telling the person bro, 750 ml of oil cannot last 2 days because of you drink it. At least we have to push for about a week, my guy. We are not against you drinking oil. That's how you function, but it has to be a limit that maybe you can drink this much. But my guy, you can't go this way every day. Bro. But if you address these things in the right manner, people understand. People understand and they respect that. Because of as much as repetitive dialogue, as much as we all have things that we should use every day so that we can function, but we must also understand that we are here for a long time. We're not here for 2 days. If I'm here to camp for 2 weeks and we're buying this thing because of we need it to cook cabbage and other stuff with it, if it's finished and you can't buy oil, you're waiting for us to buy another so that you can drink. When it's finished, you can't buy another. You have to wait for us to make a plan and buy oil. Once it's there, it's Christmas for the guy. He wanna go and drink the whole bottle. I'm like, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. And that's the way of life. I hope I answered you, my guy. I hope I answered you, my brother, because of when it comes to food, you need to know your people and you need to know yourself so that you can know how to function. And I spoke about the food that makes me struggle to abstain on purpose, because of most of our brothers and sisters, have this problem and they don't know why. The person will be like, "Esh, man, I want to go to mountains, I want to go to rivers, but the problem, I can't abstain for 7 days. Man, I can't stay for 7 days, man. I will be bad. I will feel like I want to have that. I want to have that." It's because of you don't know what types of food that triggers your sexual desires. So you need to understand those type of stuff. I, used to work at this supermarket when I was in Tembisa, whereby I know there is a certain guy who doesn't drink milk at all. Every time when we drink tea, it has to be black. And I know certain people who doesn't eat eggs at all. So you need to know who you are and understand what triggers your desires, what triggers certain stuff in your body, so that you might struggle to abstain, because abstaining is a big thing. We don't talk about abstaining. We just tell people, "Hey man, you must abstain when you go to mountains, rivers and caves." And I'm saying this specifically because of these past 2 to 3 weeks, there have been a lot of videos that we see on the social media whereby our brothers are dying, especially at rivers. They will just see the body floating. I saw a ridiculous number out there, like about 17 people this month alone have died on these places. It is bad. I've seen the other video whereby the divers, they were going in because of they have to go and look for the body. Guys, we have to make videos like this. You have to abstain and you have to understand your body. And this is the great comment, because of we have a chance to speak about the type of food that you can eat and the type of food that you can avoid. And I'm saying this on purpose, even if when I'm telling you about the type of food that I can eat, I know obviously, there are certain people who are watching already, and tomorrow when you visit them, you'll be shocked. They're frying fish because of they know you love fish. We don't say this without thinking twice. You know that once you say this certain stuff online, that this is my favorite type of food, this is the food that I avoid. Next time you go somewhere and people are preparing exactly what you eat, already we have answers for those people when we get there. You know how to avoid those kind of traps, because people are always sending missiles, and you must always be extra careful. Nobody is safe. Nobody can say, "I have a good heart, I do the right things." Nobody, can even do harm to me. People will always do harm to you. And it's not only with food, you can just be driving there, somebody just come and smash your car. What happened? You see videos circulating on the social media whereby people are just robbed, gunpoint, people are just killed because of somebody want to take things from them by force. People will always do bad things to you, even if you're sweet, even if you're bad, even if you're nice, even if you're kind, even if you are respectful. People will do bad things to you. Bad things will happen to you. It's the part of life. But what you can do is to know yourself and do what's best for you, because we come from different cultural background. There are certain food which the Xhosa-speaking people prefer. Others, they just know that my great-grandfather used to eat this. My grandfather used to eat this. Like the Zulu-speaking people, they love putu, they love, certain stuff of types of food. And if they eat those type of food, it's easier for them to go to mountains, rivers, and caves anytime. And I appreciate you guys, your love and support. Thank you.